Hello everyone. You can call me Emily. I'm married and, generally speaking, I've always been a calm person who deals with situations quite calmly. But the story I'm telling you today was one of those moments that get out of control, when you feel like something is going to happen, even though you try to ignore it. It all started one cold season, when my brother-in-law came to spend the holidays at my house. My husband and he had been on vacation for 2 days, and the atmosphere at home was one of pure relaxation. He had always treated me very well, was attentive and kind, but with one detail: his hugs were always firm, tight, and lingering. I noticed his insistent gaze on me, that gaze that would slowly go down and then go up, wandering over every detail, as if he were analyzing every little feature of what he saw. And if this silent tension wasn't enough, things got even more intense when we had a barbecue here at home. Between lively conversations and drinks, the relaxation turned into excessive freedom. He joked too much, laughed too much, got too close to me. And even though I knew everything, I'm not going to lie, deep down, I liked that attention, that energy that hung in the air. It was as if we were trapped in a game without rules, where the limits were thin and the opportunity was just a matter of time. And, as you can imagine, sooner or later, the inevitable would happen. That chance came on the second day of vacation. He had been giving me those usual looks since early on. I must have woken up angry, wanting to push the stroller, but I kept my composure. But at night it was a different story. My husband suggested that we watch a movie. We got everything ready. They ordered an Uber Eats and we turned off the lights and pressed play. We all sat on the couch, grabbed blankets and watched. The atmosphere was very good, pleasant. I always liked these home-based programs. By the middle of the movie, I had already gotten up 5 more times. When I wasn't going to the bathroom, I was getting drinks or making more popcorn and getting some treats. When I got up all the time, I ended up in the middle of the two of them because I felt like I had more space and because my husband was calmer. I stayed there calmly, playing with my cell phone, and every now and then I glanced at the movie. It didn't even take 5 minutes for me to feel a presence at the height of my knee. I looked at my husband, who was engrossed in the movie. I looked at my brother-in-law and he was looking at me. I smiled, feeling that this was the signal in case he wanted to go up a little more. And so he did. I had 2 beers in mind and, having sat all afternoon, my eyes were already downcast and I had a big smile on my face. Without beating around the bush, he put his hand straight to the warmth of my peril. I was already quite sweet with the proposal, so I settled down on the couch, leaving more space for him. I was in my pajamas and it was super easy to reach. That's when he started to circle his fingers right over the earring. I started to feel light and rested my head on the couch. I bent my left leg so that a tent would form and block the view of my movements a little. Taking advantage of the opportunity with my very curious hand, I went straight for the pit. And can you believe it was already out? I felt the little bumps of the vein and everything, the exposed pumpkin, and a different warmth. Wow, I was all euphoric and excited, looking sideways at my love to see if he was still entertained. I felt more confident when he stopped to look at his phone, because I know that people are even more distracted when they are looking at Instagram or something else on their phone. His brother's bottle kicked angrily when I clapped it on my palm. That's when I started the cake recipe, hitting it very subtly. He was crazy, taking a few good sips of his Budweiser. We stayed there for about 2 minutes just being affectionate. And luckily for me, my love said he was going to the bathroom. Wow, I almost said this is really going to happen, because as soon as he left the room, I took the blanket off. I went to have that wordless conversation with his brother. I went straight to the filet mignon, very focused, but without delay. When I stopped, he, already without fear, told me to climb up there for a little bit. Quick, are you crazy? I whispered. It's just a little bit, he said, pulling me. I was very adventurous. I climbed up quickly, opened my pajamas, opening the flaps with both hands, because I am a woman of attributes. I fell into the hammock, leaving the sugar cane completely covered. I weeded it about 6 times. He came back now empty so he could drink more, went to the fridge and got another bottle that was white from being so cold. The only thing missing was a barbecue, but since it was a movie atmosphere, we just had popcorn. I was already pretty high, and I had the idea of including my darling. I went to visit his little stick to see how he was doing, and he was still lying down, not wanting to fight. But I went over there and woke him up with my hand and worked a little. It didn't take long. The sugar cane was growing and my brother-in-law's was still there wanting to eat. I didn't waste any time and boom, I went over there too. Now everyone was included and satisfied, excited, happy, all entertained and well behaved, because one didn't know about the other. My brother-in-law came over with that hand in the fire again and just stroked the little fox. I blinked my eyes very slowly. I felt so young in the middle of all that. One leg stretched out and the other bent, with only the light from the television. The sofa was quite large, and there was room for everyone to lie down if we wanted to. Hubby looked at his brother to see if everything was okay, and the swollen one was hiding it very skillfully. When my husband looked at his cell phone to be more discreet, I quickly went to his little brother's side and immediately put the Parmalat out, milking it completely without taking my hand off, letting the volcano release the lava and run over him. The poor guy clenched his jaw and hands, but he stayed focused and didn't make a peep. That was it. One of them had already fired. All that was left was the other one who had just started, but was already ready. I let go of the one on the right and dedicated myself to the one on the left, half lying down next to him, with my face on his shoulder, leaving my mounds exposed for my brother-in-law to admire the view from behind. The problem was that the smell of chlorine rose, which was responsible for the first explosion. I hoped my love wouldn't care or wouldn't notice. I even hurried over to his side, blocking his view with my body so I could stir the milkshake more, and I accidentally used my dirty hand. I was in despair. My husband would notice, but when I looked at his face, his eyes were heavy-lidded, as if he was really enjoying what I was doing. So I continued. Maybe he thought I had put my hand in my mouth, and that was why I was licking it like that. Luckily, since it had become more enjoyable for him because of the wrong hand, he let me watch his eruption in a few seconds, and I was completely satisfied. What movie was that? The best one I had ever seen. I don't remember anything about it. I just know it was an action movie. They were both defeated on the couch. I got up and my brother-in-law asked me to get him some napkins. I smiled a little and came back with napkins for both of them, but they pretended not to know why. They used them discreetly. I went to the bedroom, washed myself in the bathroom, and brought a clean face towel for my husband to clean himself better. And that was how our night went. I hope you enjoyed my adventure. Just remembering it makes me want to watch another movie like that.